Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Greene. You're watching AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It is Monday, the 13th, 2017, and please bear with me. I've got a little bit of a cold. But give this video a thumbs up, a like, share it, because the message I'm about to deliver is very important. So I got into a minor fender bender yesterday. Everybody's fine. You know, it's all good. But I got rear-ended, and it was just kind of a wake-up. It's kind of a knock at the door from God, just saying, hey, wake up, pay attention. Number one, count all your blessings, understand what a lucky person you are, and how, we're all so blessed to be healthy, to have a roof over our head, family and friends that care about us, love in our lives, and that's really all that matters. Nothing else does. Most of this consumerist culture, that, the marketing culture, it's just a bunch of lies. And it's to sell you on an idea that these things are going to fulfill you when they won't. And, every day I try to ask forgiveness from God and ask Him into my heart and just count all my blessings, because I am a sinner and I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best. And I hope through my videos I'm propelling a message, a good one, of empowerment and enlightenment. And I hope it's bigger than me. And I really truly do believe it comes from a higher power. And I'm going to do my best to message that to you guys. So after having a little bit of that wake up, I've been thinking long and hard and critically over the weekend about where things are headed. And, I've been kind of getting laughed out of the room a little bit lately, which is why I know I'm right on a certain topic. And why I know that it's knocking on our door, kind of like I was just rear-ended yesterday and it came out of nowhere. I've talked for nearly 10 years now, post the economic crash of 2008 and 2009, that there would be another major collapse and another major fall. Now, anytime I talk about this, I am shamed. I mean, you can just look at it I am shamed, I am ridiculed, I am called heinous names, people say I'm crazy, all these things, and it only tells me, and I'm fine with that, by the way, but it only tells me how close we are. So I want you to take what I'm telling you to heart, because it's not a sales pitch. It's about educating you and educating as many people as we can before the big one, so to speak, hits. It's like living on a fault line in California without taking out, earthquake insurance. No one calls you crazy when you have fire insurance on your house. But you're a crazy, crackpot, lunatic conspiracy theorist if you buy food storage, for example, of which, by the way, we've got some excellent options, and I encourage you to check it out by clicking the link below. You're crazy if you prepare in any regard for what I believe to be an inevitability. So here's what I think is going to happen. Everyone wants to talk about all these issues, like in terms of economics, interest rates. Oh, this is why there was all this bad credit and debt and securitization and all this bullshit, which caused the 2008, 2009 crash and then had to clean out the blah, 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 blah. Who really even gives a shit about that? All you need to know is that the crisis was engineered. They stole money from you and your friends for a reason. And then after doing this, a V to collapse to the abyss, that telling you the world was going to come to an end, George W. Bush on camera, and then, continued with Obama. They then hence injected tens of trillions of dollars in stimulus so that it did a violent V back the opposite direction. So they took your money, which was planned and engineered. It was a heist. It was a robbery, like a gun to your head. And then quickly they V'd it right back to easy credit and stimulus and quantitative easings to, hey, buy a new SUV, only 1,000 easy payments of XYZ, get it at 0% interest rates, buy your new home, finance something you can't really afford. They stole your money, and then right after that, they lubricated the system to the same elites, not you, but to the same elites that it benefits. Because again, they need you to buy the widgets and the homes and the cars at super leverage in order to keep their system, their illusion of continuous, infinite, perpetual growth into infinity going for as long as they can before the next fallout. And believe me, I'm not making a prediction. It's just a mathematical certainty. It's going to happen. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to have a 50 to 80% collapse from where we currently are. 50 to 80% collapse. And again, I'll probably get shamed again. Oh, you're crazy, Christopher. I mean, how we have such short-term memory loss. We were on the edge of a cliff, the brink of just absolute insanity in 2008, 2009. People were panicking in the streets, about to, riot in a Mad Max world. And all of a sudden, everything's cool now. It's a gravy train. Oh, yeah, now that Trump's in and the market, went up another 8%, we're good. We haven't had a 10% correction, and I can't think of when. It's gone straight up. There's been no reversion. And here's the bottom line, folks. There's not enough real wealth and real assets to cover all of the makeshift security investments, stocks, bonds, the multi-quadrillion dollar derivatives market, CDOs, CMOs, to cover the actual tangible value of the asset, like land, real estate, investing in yourself, real businesses that actually do something, tangible. There's more fake paper on the actual assets than the actual assets exist, which is why I really believe this. And I think people like Jim Rogers are right, and they've been saying it for years. But the next millionaire in America and worldwide, it's not the guy that's like a financial advisor. It's not the guy who's selling real estate or dealing in those shenanigans. It's the farmer. And I'm actually seeing this in real life. In fact, I had some family coming to town, and they were spending some time on the golf course. We're playing some golf. They're retired. And they met a lovely, nice couple. I forget where they were from, probably like North Dakota or something like that. Multi-millionaires. Loaded. You know what they do? Farm. Because there's limited resources and there's too many people, and the population growth is growing exponentially. And we're expected to go from like 6 to 7 billion to like 10 billion in the next decade or so. And we don't have enough resources to cover it. I have friends that are high-level executives that make huge bank every year, that work for companies like Costco and do business with them, et cetera. And you know what the Costco CEO tells them? This is the CEO. We don't have enough grapes. We don't have enough apples. We don't have enough cherries to feed everybody. It's their biggest concern. Too many people, not enough resources. And what is the economy made up of? Nothing. Just a belief system. The paper isn't worth what it's freaking printed on. So what I think happens, some people call it like, oh, it's like a bowling ball, the big collapse, and then it goes for a while, then another collapse, and then it goes for a while. I actually think what we've had, this is what we've had. We've had a go to the moon, thanks to Alan Greenspan, Ben Bernanke, to a massive crash, where the markets lost 50% of their value in just a couple of months. And in order for the world not to implode on itself and to have a Mad Max crazy Duke Nukem environment, they had to inject $10+ trillion into the same financial institutions. So it went like this. Because guess what, folks? They stole from you. Then, now they're milking it because they need you to buy the shit, the widgets, the cars, the homes, etc., which they're also profiting from. And they're going to keep that going as long as possible, as long as they can. They're going to milk you dry like a cow until the big one. And that's, in my opinion, going to be the long, drawn-out, worse than the Great Depression, mass hysteria, mass panic. Do you know, for example, that the trucking industry that provides all the food to your grocery store only has, the grocery store, the Ralphs, the Safeways, the Albertsons, only has 2 days worth of stock of inventory before the shelves are empty. In this on-demand world of Amazon fulfillment and drop shipping and all these things. 2 freaking days. That's it. And then the guns are blazing in the streets because people don't have water. I mean, we saw this with Hurricane Sandy. People out in Boston were getting into fist fights over freaking bottled water. And violent, bloody ones over a freaking bottle of water. But we're shamed by this peer pressure in our society that if you go to the supermarket and just add up a couple more supplies, you're buying beans, and instead of buying beans for this week and this month, you buy it for another month, and you just kind of double up take these simple steps. You're like a crackpot. It's almost like you got to go undercover and wear, a hat and big dark sunglasses. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. I'm smart. So, I think that we need to look at this as a society. It's not like you're a prepper and you don't have to be Duke Nukem with grenades all over you, type survivalist to just be smart. It's insurance. Even if you're a mathematician, and let's just say I gave you a probability that there's a 10% probability that there's going to be a major supply disruption in the not too distant future and a major crash in the global economy as a byproduct of all this stupidity. Wouldn't you be like, damn, 10%, man? Maybe it's not going to happen, but that's a pretty significant risk. When you prepare for it, just like you take, fire insurance on your house or earthquake insurance if they have it available. If you're sitting on the San Andreas Fault, this shit's going to happen. The big one's going to hit California at some point. I don't know when. It's going to happen. So I'm not going to put my head in the sand and pretend like it's not. And I'm also not going to live in fear. I'm going to live optimistically. What's the worst can happen? If the earthquake never does hit and there is never a major supply disruption, you're leaner, you're meaner, you're stronger, and you've prepared you and your family so that you also have peace of mind, and you'll do even better because things are always going this way forever and ever and ever, which is what they've been doing. It's almost like we just live in La La Land, like just get our lollipops out, like it's just like a chocolate land or something. It's bullshit, and it's a lie. And there's going to be a reversion to the mean, and I can feel it. And I know I'm right. It's not about being right, because people don't care about that. I know I'm right because of how I'm being shamed in the public eye. And anyone, not just me that talks about it, is just shamed. Because it's not hip and it's not cool when everybody's riding the gravy train of mass credit expansion, which they think is going to be into infinity, just like they thought pre-2008 and 2009, before they shit themselves and before they were in tears, before they lost half or maybe more of their entire net worth that they had worked their ass off for their entire lives, or that they're not getting their pensions because they can't be funded anymore. Public pensions, for example, are $1 trillion+ underfunded. Private pensions, even worse. Social Security, even worse. Medicare, Medicaid, even worse. You're not going to get shit. It's going to be like Greece, where they knock on your door and say, sorry, and it's going to happen here in the United States of America. And there could very likely be inflation. There could be hyperinflation in this country when people realize their belief system is screwed. And there's no tangibility to the bullshit paper you might as well wipe your ass with. It's why tangible things like land, real estate, farming, gold, something I've talked a lot about, food. Again, check out the food storage below. You should at least have 2 weeks supply, if not 30 days, if not, in my opinion, you should have 12 months minimum. And you've got to think not just about yourself, but your friends and family. If you're a family of 4, you need at least 12 months. And the more prepared you are, this is a selfless, righteous act. It is a holy act. It is a godly act. The more prepared you are means the less dependent you'll be when the crisis hits. It actually means you can help people. It means you can be a helping hand to the people that didn't prepare or didn't see it coming, because you'll have the resources. You'll be a savior in that world. And again, it's not about planning for disaster like, oh my God, I'm going to throw myself in a bunker and prepare for nuclear fallout. It's just about being smart. And to me, this is just me. I don't know about you guys, but having that peace of mind, it makes me feel good at night. I sleep better because I have people I need to take care of. It's not just about me. And so the message I'm delivering to you today, it's a real one from a real guy who's up really early this morning, got rear-ended over the weekend, had a little bit of a wake-up. And I'm telling you guys, from the bottom of my humble heart, this is coming at some point. And I want you guys to prepare. And if you're not buying food storage from me, I don't even care. Buy it from someone else. You're going to need it. There's going to be a disruption. Perpetual, endless growth in perpetuity forever, where the global economy and all these master politicians need consistent, constant growth forever in order to fund all of these shenanigans, isn't going to work out long term. And you don't have to be Ray Dalio, if you don't know who he is, one of the top money managers on the planet and brilliant minds to realize these things. All you have to be is an average guy like myself to understand this fundamental truth. You know I'm right, because these are things that are built into our DNA for a reason. And people don't realize how vulnerable you are. And let me throw this out there too. Maybe you're tuning in. Like, Christopher, I'm a wealthy guy. I'm a wealthy gal. Many of you are that tune into my audience. And many of my friends are. You might have 9 digits, 10 digits in the bank account. You might be 10 plus $100 million deep. If that's your only asset, it's a good one because you can exchange money for things of tangible value. That's not good enough. If you don't have health, if you don't have wellness, if you don't have love, if you don't have skills, if you don't have community, if you don't have friends, if you're not giving back. This year, I'll point out, we had a donor this year that made our freaking year, made our year. God bless this woman. She made our year. She helped keep the lights open so I could do what I do because she believes in our operation. And you know what she told me? Kick the shit out of CNN. It's about giving back, doing something that matters, building the rich communities in a new world that gives a shit about other people. I saw a guy on the street the other day. I've seen a couple of them, homeless guys. It almost brings freaking tears to my eyes. Because I could be that person. And we need to help each other. Where is our humanity? I'll close with this. Please listen to what I'm telling you. Please share this video, like it. Get it out to the people you love and care about, and never give up, and empower yourself, and help me and help us build something amazing, beautiful, something that we can all be proud of. I'm Christopher Greene, and you're watching AMTV, Alternative Media Television, hard-hitting and in your face. Click the link below, check out our array of food storage options, and take care of yourself, your family, and your friends. And keep your chin up, America, and those of you tuning in worldwide. Peace.